what issues Pakistani community in United States are confronting, and which your group is addressing these all concerns, these all issues which are confronted by Pakistani American community?
There's many concerns, but I think the main concern is representation. We want to make sure that we have a seat in the table.
Where stands Pakistani diaspora in terms of supporting any particular political group?
This is one of the most polarized elections that we have seen in the past U.S. history.
Immigration remains one of the foremost important concern for those either who are illegally or who want longer or permanent stay in the United States, particularly from Pakistan.
Yeah, immigration is the main issue. The U.S. is built on immigrants, right? The whole United States of America is built on immigrants. The New York is built on immigrants. All these people came from different part of the world and made this great country.
Great poet, Allama Muhammad Iqbal. So tell us something about that. Whether was that so easy to name an avenue after the name of one of the Pakistan's great philosopher and poet, Allama Muhammad Iqbal?
It was not that easy. It took us almost 3 years.
How Pakistan's exports could be enhanced in the American market, and how American businessmen come and invest in Pakistan.
Our businesses need to produce more, export more, and have a closer relationship. And also our local government need to make sure that in Pakistan that people who come and invest, they have the right channel open.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Inside in V News English. Dear viewers, United States is an important country, and when we talk of United States of America, there are immigrants from number of countries around the world. And in New York, which is one of the mainstream United States city, there are large number of Pakistanis living over there. So Pakistanis not only live in New York, but they are spread over different states, different cities, not only contributing in the development of the United States through their skills, through their services, but they are also a strong linkage between Pakistan and the United States. But despite these all things, there are a number of groups, non-governmental organizations, there are a number of lobbyist groups which are working to take care of the interest of the Pakistanis and Pakistan's interests. One of the group which is quite active in New York City, that is American Pakistani Advocacy Group. This advocacy group is a not-for-profit organization, and it works to promote Pakistan-United States relations. This particular group protect the Pakistanis' interest and look after large Pakistani community living in one of the largest American state, New York State. And to discuss about what this group does, Pakistani American Advocacy Group and its activities, and the current American presidential election, where the campaign is still on, and elections are expected in next 2 days. To discuss these all, we are fortunately joined by Mr. Ali Rashid, who is president of American Pakistani Advocacy Group. Mr. Ali Rashid, very warm welcome to program Insight in V News English. First, precisely, would you like to introduce this particular group, this particular organization, and its mandate and objective?
Yeah, assalamu alaikum, and thank you for having me on the show. Yeah, so American Pakistani Advocacy Group was founded in 2019 with the four core factors. One was we want to promote civic engagement, which was definitely like getting involved in the Pakistani American in local politics and national politics. Our second thing what we wanted to do was empower the youth and women of the Pakistani American and Pakistani diaspora in the United States of America. That's very important for us. And number three is to promote the Pakistani heritage and culture, to make sure that we have building bridges, that we are promoting the positive side of Pakistan, because America is our homeland, but Pakistan will always stay our motherland. So we wanted to show the positive, and we have a great, rich and great history. So we do want to promote that. And number four is, again, we do want to promote the professional entrepreneur, because a lot of people came as first generation, like our parents who worked really hard, and now as us who really went to school here and trying to make a positive impact by giving back to the society, not just to Pakistani, but any American as a human being, to give back to the community, to give back to this great country that we are on, and building bridges between these two great nations.
So, what the issues Pakistani community in United States are confronting, and which your group is addressing these all concerns, these all issues which are confronted by Pakistani American community in New Jersey and in New York and elsewhere?
There's many concerns, but I think the main concern is representation, where we feel that as a Pakistani American we don't have representation in the government. We want to make sure that we have a seat in the table when the decision making, the policy making happens. Our community lives behind. Pakistani American has the biggest diaspora in New York. And in part of the world, part of the United States of America, and the tri-state has very, very large population of Pakistani American. So the representation is main thing. We want to make sure that we are, locally connected with our local politician to understand what we need. And what our needs, basically, again, like I think it comes down to same as in America, as a Muslim South Asian need. We as a Muslims, majority of the Pakistani Americans, have face Islamophobia. That's a big thing here in especially after 9/11 and continue to do, especially with the war in Gaza going on. Also, there's a lot of food insecurity. Like during COVID, we saw that our organization stepped up, and we were the first South Asian organization to start delivering food. So security. Also, we have a lot of immigrants who come here who doesn't read and write language. So we work on those kind of issues: language accessibility, immigration, all the food inequality, even some housing issues we have started to work on recently.
That's correct. Currently, American presidential campaign is in the decisive phase. Both Republican and Democrats are presenting their viewpoint. Tell us about Pakistani diaspora. They have inclination towards which particular political party? Neutrally speaking, you may have your personal affiliation, but definitely every diaspora, there are other communities from Africa, from Middle East, from South Asia. So where stands Pakistani diaspora in terms of supporting any particular political group? Of course, there are two parties, Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah, so this is one of the most polarized elections that we have seen in the past U.S. history. It's going to be a very, very, tomorrow's election. As Pakistani American, majority of them, again, feel what's happening in Gaza because the youth and young people.
They have concern on Middle East.
Yeah, because especially the youth and the young people. The people who are a little bit more, I think, older, the Pakistani Americans, they're very, very worried about the Pakistani politics, what happened in Pakistan. And people are kind of still very divided. So there's two parties. There's Kamala Harris from Democrat and Donald Trump from Republican. But there's a third candidate called Jill Stein from Green Party, which has really, really make a big impact. And there was a survey done that came out report yesterday that 43% of the Muslim population is voting that candidate because she has a very, very strong
Green Party, the third party.
Yeah, the Green Party. In order for them to become official, they need to get 5% of the vote, which is kind of highly impossible because even the whole Muslims make about 1.5% of the United States population. But she really has a strong stance because what's happening in Gaza, affects everybody seeing in social media. So a lot of people are inclined to vote for Jill Stein. I think the second in the poll, it says that Kamala was second, but I say what I've seen in the community and talking to people every day. In past week, I've spoken to like 300-400 people from Pakistani community, and I think most people have voted for Trump because recently things came out that he will be for peace. He'll stop all the wars. So that really resonated in the past week or so with a lot of Pakistani American. And then you have some people who definitely going to vote for Kamala because the Democratic Party, the values that they bring as an immigrant community and the things that they tell people and stand for a lot of the causes for Pakistani Americans. So again, the community is split, but the third party candidate will get some vote from Pakistani American community. And but the scene people have seen in the past 4 years, because when Biden came into the administration, he didn't even call the Pakistani president, or he didn't even take the Pakistani prime minister call. So the relationship has like a little bit like thawed during this campaign. So they feel that Kamala coming again, it will be similar, not same. But with Trump, they feel that it might be something different. He'll maybe open more relationship, and some people are expecting more. So again, let's see what happens. But it's a very, very close election, very thin margins. The polls are closed, but very, very important election for U.S. history. Let's see what happened in 2 days. But it's a very close election, and everybody's predicting to be anybody victory. Both parties are claiming that they are lead right now, but it comes down to only 7 states, and whoever wins that will win the election.
As you said, that your particular group is focusing on Pakistani community and promoting linkages between Pakistan and United States. Like every community, it could be African, Arab, it could be of Indian origin. They're always concerned about how to legalize their citizens living in United States of America. Tell us on this account, how many Pakistanis who are facing this immigration issue, they want themselves to be legalized, and they want themselves as a legal resident of the United States of America. So anything concrete on this particular front, because immigration remains one of the foremost important concern for those either who are illegally or who want longer or permanent stay in the United States, particularly from Pakistan.
Yeah, immigration is the main issue. I'd say economy and immigration for the whole United States of America for this election to begin with, for everybody. And for Pakistani Americans, it is a main issue because a lot of Pakistani Americans who came here from different route. But overall, I think the Pakistani American community is very well versed and very financially settled. But we have one party, Donald Trump, saying that he's going to deport all the illegal immigrants. I don't think so. It's possible, but that's
not possible.
It's very possible because in past, since the Biden administration, a lot of people, this is the first time in the history of America in past 60, 70 years, you just need to come to the border and get asylum. I haven't. It never happened before. A majority of the people that came are from usually the South America countries. There's a lot of Chinese, a lot of Ukrainian, a lot of Africans
and Arabs.
I even seen a lot of Arabs. The Pakistanis are less because it's a different route. You have to walk a lot, but still there is it. And again, if you, our stance, the Pakistani American community, if you work in this country and you make an impact and you pay taxes, there is a pathway to work around and legalize the people who are impacted by this and could promote that they are making a big impact on this country or this state. So is that going to happen? Again, to legalize that many too is impossible. To deport everybody is impossible. So they will find some kind of a middle path. And after COVID, there was a very shortage of a lot of, I think, employees and workers. So it's a two-way sword. But for a lot of people, it's a big concern. Like New York is a sanctuary city, so any immigrant could come here. They get free housing, free food, free shelter, free education. Mm-hmm. So most people come here, and then they move out to different states. So Pakistani American, 100%, they want people who are there to get legalized. But the last time legalization really happened was in about 40 years ago during the Ronald Reagan era. When they give some people legalization. So since that, it hasn't happened. People work here, they get work permit and so forth. But it's a very dicey sword for both of the parties. But one party is saying, we're going to legalize these immigrants, like the Democrat Party. And while Donald Trump is saying, I'm going to deport all these people who have came. So both is kind of impossible. So let's see they have to find a middle path. And the Pakistani American community is very, very concerned about the immigration, because some people work hard, come here, work hard, and they see that, these people coming here getting free checks. And some people are saying, we are immigrants too, so let's help as many people as possible.
Mr. Ali Rashid, the United States remain an attractive destination for South Asian youth, particularly Pakistan. So if we compare Pakistan with India, Indian youth and skilled workers easily get the job visas. And they move to United States, particularly in the field of medicine and in field of information technology, that whole IT sector. So what good news you can share with Pakistani young doctors, Pakistani young IT professionals, that they may come and explore opportunities in United States of America under the job visas, because currently Pakistan is producing a lot of doctors and IT experts.
Yeah, so people who want to come to the United States of America, there's I personally have a discussion with the State Department. We are very active to make sure we expedite the visa process, because people were getting the dates like in a year or so, especially the COVID
Longer
effect.
appointments,
Yeah, long.
exactly.
So they have expired that. They have added more staff, and they, the ambassador have been the U.S. ambassador to Pakistan has been very instrumental making that relationship and opening the channels. So the U.S. is built on immigrants, right? The whole United States of America is built on immigrants. The New York is built on immigrants. All these people came from different part of the world and made this great country. So same thing, Pakistani American. If you do, if you want to come to America, make sure you do the right paperwork, follow the process. And there's also a thing called extraordinary visa, where people who is very have done doctors, engineer, IT, and have make an impact to their country, they do get a fast process, which I've seen some people getting. And again, we continue to talk to the State Department and the officials here to make sure that there's the quick dates could happen, and we have as many people who want to come join. Some people want even for medical. It's sometimes tough to get here. So I mean, again, it's not easy, but I think if you have the right channel and right credential, and you could fill out the application, make sure you follow the process, whatever the legal laws. I've seen people recently in past year more getting visas to United States of America than before.
And you talked about cultural linkages that your this American Pakistani advocacy group promotes Pakistani art and culture in the United States. Recently, we have seen naming of one of the avenue in New York after Pakistan's great poet Allama Muhammad Iqbal. So tell us something about that. Whether was that so easy to name an avenue after the name of one of the Pakistan's great philosopher and poet Allama Muhammad Iqbal?
Yes, that's a historical feature by American Pakistani Advocacy Group that we did. It was not that easy. It took us almost 3 years. Because usually they co-name avenues people who live in New York City or New York, who have done contribution to New York. So because of our contribution, American Pakistani Advocacy Group, that we do, because we are involved in civic engagement, but we are also involved in social service. We provide here Ramadan food, like free food to to Ramadan, even halal Thanksgiving drive. We do give a lot back to the community. So because of the effort of APAC, we were able to co-name a street in Richmond Hill, Queens, 101 Avenue and 109 Street to Allama Iqbal Avenue. And it's a great feature. It reminds for the youth that what they are linked with. One of the founder of Pakistan, person who visioned Pakistan, person who brought Qaid Azam with him. Have done, he's a great poet, very, very well reversed in America. So it wasn't easy, but we got it done because our group, we try to do more strategic work. We try to focus also on doing the thing, and then doing instead of saying we're going to do it, instead of speaking loud and making that we are doing it, we let our action speak for ourselves. So we keep it, because it's better the more strategic you do, and better. But it's a great thing. We have a big mural there. Anybody who wants to come take a visit, Allama Iqbal Avenue, you'll see a big mural with the Minar Pakistan, Faisal Masjid. It's beautiful. A lot of people come. I think every day we have somebody comes and they take it. It's beautiful, and it promotes the culture and heritage of Pakistan in America, and give us a happiness and pride for our community here and in the whole United States.
Of course, it's a sign of pride for Pakistani Americans to promote Pakistan's culture, and if anything related to Pakistan's culture, Pakistan's history is visible. Another important thing is Pakistani economy needs stability, and stability, one of the factor that can bring stability is foreign investment, strong economic and trade ties between Pakistan and United States. So tell us on that particular front, what is happening? So how Pakistan's economic and trade ties could be made more stronger from the businessman viewpoint. Tell us on that particular thing, how Pakistan's exports could be enhanced in the American market, and how American businessmen come and invest in Pakistan.
So one of the key things to export economic and business stability is having the country to be more stable, which I think it's happening. Currently, there's this stability, but we just had a meeting with the Pakistani caucus chairman. So Tom Swazi, who is the congressional chairman here, and our focus was that we want to on the national level, open more channels and for Pakistani exports to come here. Pakistani still has the largest export to any part of the country in America, but we want to open that. We want to make sure that our businessmen in Pakistan have more opportunity to build
In the
good
United
products
States.
and export it in the United States of America. And again, we are talking to State Department and also the congressional leaders here, who's a caucus chairman. We just had a meeting with him. Also, the Republican side of it. Last year, we had a meeting with Chuck Schumer, who's the state Senate majority leader here. Very, very powerful in U.S. government and also in New York State. And our goal was, Pakistani need to get off this IMF loan and everything in order to succeed. And in order to do that happen, we need Pakistani businesses to flourish so the economy could develop and the GDP could make an impact that we don't need to rely on other loans and we could sustain ourselves. And that only comes, again, what you just said, that our businesses need to produce more, export more, and have a closer relationship. And also our local government need to make sure that in Pakistan that people who come and invest, they have the right channel open, that they feel safe, and they feel that they could do business in Pakistan without going through too much hassle. So you have to have both sides engaged. But again, as of us, we're going to keep promoting the positive side of Pakistani Americans and making sure that from U.S. side perspective that we have more opportunities for businessmen to open from different IT sector. We have a great sector, agriculture. We're trying to do something. So we definitely, even the medical, right? We just mentioned earlier, we could have some doctors come here, and there's many other features that we could do. So we are having dialogues with the congressional leaders, Senate leaders, State Department to have that more open, and there are more channels where I think our country needs to make sure we have the right product, right things, and the quality is important to maintain that.
Thank you so much indeed, Mr. Ali Rashid. You spoke about Pakistani-American linkages, people-to-people linkages, and you also spoke about the priorities of Pakistani Americans vis-a-vis the American presidential election campaign is on, and also the business opportunities, the job opportunities for Pakistani people in United States of America. Despite your busy schedule, you spoke to Program Insight in V News English, and we'll remain in touch with you. And dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Allah Hafiz from studios.
Thank you for having me.